Hello. This was the part that had the faulty ball bearing, which makes a loud noise when driving. This is what it looks like after the faulty bearing was replaced, cleaned, and renewed. Follow along and I'll explain the steps and method. The steps I'm about to show you apply to any car with a suspension system similar to the one you'll see in this car. Other cars require you to remove the entire shock absorber. Let me show you how to do it so you understand what I mean. The first step is to go to the main nut of the CV joint and use a thin screwdriver and hammer to loosen its rivet so you can remove it, as it's tightly fastened. Then I lift the car off the ground and remove the tire. I'll move closer to the caliper because I'll use a screwdriver to enlarge the caliper so it moves back, as this makes it easier to remove. After that, unscrew the 2 screws securing the caliper to the steering rack or the spark plug. Then remove the caliper and attach it with wire just above the spring to give it room. Unscrew the screw securing the ball joint and using a metal lever, free the ball joint from its position. On the other side, go to the end ball joint nut and loosen it. Using the appropriate pliers, remove the ball joint from its position and loosen the coupling nut. Remove the screw securing the drum in the part behind it and remove the drum. Remove the washer that was behind the coupling. Unscrew the 2 screws securing the spark plug to the shock absorber. Here I can remove the coupling from its position in the hub or the hub. Finally, I remove all of this by hand. I unscrew the 3 screws securing the plate to the spark plug and remove it. To remove the hub or hub, I use a socket of the same size as its crossbar and repeatedly tap it until what comes out. I take it out and turn the candlestick over, then fix it on the vise. Using pliers, I remove the ball bearing that's stuck on the ball. Then I take the candlestick to the press guy to get the old ball bearing out that's causing the problem. This is the ball bearing after it comes out of the candlestick. The X of the hub or the center cap will still have part of the ball on it. You can remove it by tapping it carefully, or you can use a wrench if you have one. Of course, a wrench is much easier because it's very easy to install and use, and it can handle the most difficult situations no matter how stuck or jammed the ball is. After that, I'll take all these components to wash them thoroughly and remove any dirt, oil, or grease before starting to install the new ball bearing. And of course, I have to clean or wash the place I was working on so that when I come back to install or assemble everything will be clean. On a clean surface, using a wire brush attached to a drill, I started cleaning or sanding all the parts I had removed in preparation for painting. After I finished, I washed all the components with gasoline and sealed all the areas I didn't want painted. Then I started painting each part to restore its original color, the one it had when the car was new. I used 3 colors, black, red, and silver. After that, I put all these components in a small oven, which would do the trick, to heat the metal to 150 degrees Celsius so the paint would adhere strongly. This is what the components looked like when I first removed them from the car. This is what they looked like after I finished sanding and washing with gasoline. And this is what they looked like after I painted them and put them in the heat oven. After that, I got the new bearing and went to the guy who does the crimping to have it pressed because this bearing can't be hammered in. The hub or the piston also has to be pressed in. It can't be hammered in. This was what this whole part looked like when I first took it out of the car, and this is what it looks like after I cleaned and refurbished it and installed a new bearing. The assembly steps are very easy. I'll put the two CV joints in their place and turn the spark plugs. Using the iron arm, I'll put the ball joint in its place and tighten its bolt very well. From above, I'll put the two bolts that hold the spark plugs in the shock absorber, but before tightening, I have to put a sealant on the bolts so they don't come loose from vibrations. The rest is all secondary. The last thing I took off is the first thing I put back on. I check and make sure that every bolt or nut I took off is tightened securely, especially the main CV joint nut that's after the tighten it properly. I need to lock it so it doesn't come loose. Like and share the video so that anyone who wants to change the front wheel bearings will know the method and steps. We'll continue together in the next video, God willing.